We're here back in the Fantasy Bar. Week 7 is here. We are back with 6 of my favorite plays for you on FanDuel and DraftKings, including some exposure to a couple games, one with a lower total I don't see a lot of traction on, one with a higher total, and a dream matchup for a quarterback and a pass catcher will save you some money at the running back position, a wide receiver in the mid-range I am really looking at. We'll go cheap at tight end, and my favorite play on the entire slate, who has absolutely owned his opponent over the course of his career. Who we talking about? Only one way to find out. Send a belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, guys. Week 7 edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Good to be back in the Fantasy Bar. Got 6 plays fresh off the tap for you for this week on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out this week's video. Now, before we get to those plays, take a second, click that thumbs up button. You guys have been doing a great job. Thank you for that. Free video here. That's all we ask in return is a little support with that thumbs up button. Hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel, and go check out Splash Sports. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, what are you waiting on? We've been talking about it here 4 weeks, and they are back again, bringing you massive prize pools to their Survivor contest. This time, a $50,000 Survivor Revival. You can also play in the RotoGrinders $10,000 Survivor Revival at a cheaper entry fee. Splash Sports now live in 34 states. Splash Sports is your trusted hub for peer-to-peer fantasy and betting. Head to splashsports.com/RotoGrinders. Take on the RotoGrinders experts, including myself, and enter promo code ROTO10 to earn a $10 credit off your first entry. All right, let's get into week 7 here. I'm feeling big bounce back week for us. Let's start at the wide receiver position with Tank Dell of the Texans. So prices moved up a little bit on Tank Dell, but I don't think they moved up high enough here. So I'm going to continue to buy here. We know Nico Collins is on the IR, and Tank Dell has elevated to that #1 wide receiver role with Collins out. We know the chemistry he has with CJ Stroud, and we saw that on display last week in New England. Team high 28% target share, and first read target almost 43% for Tank Dell in that game. So if we see similar usage this week, remember, that was a game the Texans didn't really have to do a whole lot. We're never really pushed. I think we get a close, competitive, high-scoring game here, and the total and spread indicate that. 47.5, 2.5-point spread here. So I think we get fireworks here. Green Bay has always been a matchup we can target wide receivers with. Bottom half of the league in receiving yards allowed. I think upside through the roof here with Tank Dell, our first play. All right, let's go to the running back position next with Brian Robinson Jr. of Washington. So really love the spot here for Brian Robinson, but it seems the ownership going to flock to James Daniels, McLaurin, the passing game, and I have no issues with that. Both have been electric here, but if we're going to get lower ownership on the running game, this is where I want to attack here. Now, Robinson still with a questionable tag. Don't know for sure if he's going to play or not. Expecting him back in that lineup. Even if he doesn't go, easy pivot here to Austin Eckler in this matchup. Why? We know by now. Carolina historically bad against running backs. They've given up the most rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns already. We're only in week 7. And of course, the most fantasy points to this position here. So Robinson to play for us here. If he's out, easy pivot to Austin Eckler. Love the Commanders in this spot, as a lot of people will. Maybe not as much ownership on the running back position as it deserves. All right, let's go to tight end, save a little bit of money here with David Njoku of Cleveland. Now, there's certainly some enticing higher-end tight ends. George Kittle in a good matchup. Brock Bowers seeing a lot of targets. But let's save some money here with David Njoku, who I expect to operate as the #1 pass catcher in this offense. Yes, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore get a boost at the receiver position, but I think it's Njoku that leads the way, and we haven't seen the big game yet this season out of David Njoku, but you go back over the last couple seasons, huge ceiling for this guy. I know Deshaun Watson is a concern with this play, but divisional games always have that appeal that they can go back and forth. We've seen it many a times already this season with some high-scoring games here, so the total doesn't indicate it here, but I think this one has some sneaky shootout potential, and I like the matchup here for David Njoku since he has struggled with the tight end position. We're talking bottom 12 in receiving yards, touchdowns, and fantasy points. David Njoku, my favorite price-adjusted tight end for week 7. All right, let's stay in that game and go to the running back position with Chase Brown. So don't worry, we'll have some higher total games that we want to attack here, but like I mentioned, I think this one could go over the total here and get a little bit more offense than expected by the Vegas Lions here, and this is a spot I really want to attack. Chase Brown has looked good, has looked explosive, can give you that big playability, and his role is continuing to grow. Started off with Zach Moss leading the way, but each and every week we start seeing Chase Brown slowly starting to take command of this backfield. I'm not saying Zach Moss is going to go away he will be involved. But if Brown continues to lead the way here with that big playability and his involvement in the passing game, 3 targets in each of the last 4 games, and he's given us 18 DraftKings points per game over the last 3. We're talking an easy 3x here with upside for more. Cleveland, traditionally known as a good defense, they have not been good against the run, giving up over 100 rushing yards in every game this season. And this list of teams, and I didn't include them all, there's some good teams they've allowed it to, but some bad teams in here. Jacksonville, Las Vegas, the Giants, the Cowboys, these teams have all gone over 100 rushing yards against this defense. I think the Bengals smash on the ground here. Chase Brown, too cheap, big time upside in this matchup with the Cleveland Browns. All right, let's go to the quarterback position next. And we are going with Sam Darnold of Minnesota. All right, so I get it. Dak Prescott did not work out for us last week, but I want to go right back to the well in this matchup. Why? I think it was more of an inefficient Dallas offense, which we have seen multiple times this season, rather than the Detroit Lions shutting them down. We also saw a massive loss of Aiden Hutchinson, which is going to severely limit their ability to get to the quarterback. That's good news here for Sam Darnold and any quarterback going forward. We mentioned earlier, divisional games always have that shootout potential here, and this sets up very, very well for the Minnesota Vikings. They love to throw the ball. Detroit, one of the biggest pass funnels in all of football here, 50.5 point total, and the Lions, 6th most passing yards allowed per game to the quarterback position. Getting right back on the horse here, Sam Darnold, my favorite quarterback for week 7. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for week 7. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Week contest giveaway. Some free RotoGrinders scores and odds, premium, or some free RotoGrinders swag. All you have to do, hit that thumbs up button, head to the comment section, and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my Beast of the Week. Whoever's guess is the closest, you get your choice. Free month of RotoGrinders Premium, free month of Scores and Odds Premium, or some free RotoGrinders swag. All right, let's wrap it up with my favorite play for week 7. You know, Matt's Beast of the Week. All right, Beast time. We're going to stay right there with the Vikings and spend up on wide receiver Justin Jefferson, this week's Beast of the Week. So Jefferson has absolutely owned this Lions team over the course of his career. Yes, they have made some improvements. It is not the same team that we've seen over the past couple of years, but I don't think the improvements are that significant that we still can't attack this team. Still very good against the run, still very bad against the pass, and Jefferson over 120 receiving yards in 6 of his last 7 games against this Detroit team, has found the end zone in 4 of his 5 games this season, 80 or more receiving yards in 4 straight games. So giving us that solid floor we look for. We know the ceiling is there for 30s, potentially 40 DraftKings points here on Jefferson, especially in this spot. We mentioned Detroit's improved. They have not improved against wide receivers. We've already seen some big games this season, and they've given up the most receptions of any team in the NFL, 3rd most receiving yards, and the 4th most DraftKings points to the wide receiver position. Justin Jefferson, easily my favorite play on the board in this week's Beast of the Week. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Week 7 six-pack. As always, any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video or on Twitter at Beermakersfan. Don't forget, your guess for Justin Jefferson's DraftKings points for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium, Scores and Odds Premium, or some free RotoGrinders swag. Hit that thumbs up button if you have not already. Subscribe to the channel as well. Check out splashsports.com/RotoGrinders for all the great contests this week. And Pints and Picks returns once again this week. Got 2 prop bets I love this week in the NFL. Check that out over on our Scores and Odds YouTube page for RotoGrinders.com. I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you again for watching. Best of luck on the Week 7 slate, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more DraftKings, FanDuel, and other DFS content. And you can check out our daily live show schedule on RotoGrinders.com/videos.